Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we're going for one last ride in the Ischizuchi. Now, you guys that saw the video the other day know that this is a ship that I haven't had for very long. But it's tier 3, so it really doesn't take very long to get through. Today I got on, I only needed 8,000 XP to finish it, so I got on and I ground out 8,000 XP, which was 2 matches. 2 matches. I had 2 good matches, and this was the last one. So hopefully you guys are ready. It's going to be a good one. It's going to start off a little slow, as usual. I mean, it is a battleship, but you're gonna enjoy the ending of this one. I guarantee it. This thing is going to punch above its weight and do some serious damage for a tier 3 battleship. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we sail off into the sunset. Now, we launched the first salvo here, or fire the first salvo, whatever. But we fire the first salvo, and we were leading him a little too much. He was just starting out, and he was just turning, so he wasn't going full speed yet, and I gave him a full speed lead. Kind of like I'm about to do here. So I usually give him 2 full bars, and that generally gives me close to the center of the ship, and sure enough, it does. But unfortunately, we don't get a whole lot out of it. We managed to, so far, we're at just under 5,000 damage. Again, I say this thing, it doesn't get a whole lot, but then we take a major hit through the side of our ship, and we got very lucky, actually, that Congo that I didn't notice only got a major hit on us. He didn't actually Citadel us, because that could have been really bad to get Citadel by 356mm guns. But we get away with it. Now we have a broadside Phoenix, and this is never a good position for a Phoenix. As you can see, clearly demonstrated by the fact that all of his health just disappeared. A Phoenix is a floating Citadel. That thing gets Citadeled almost as often as a Pensacola. And can we get another? Nope, not quite. But we do get another hit on him. And as you can see, I'm trying to turn my ship to the right. I want to get them all, or get turned back around and go back towards the cap. I don't want to get stuck out here against a lot of big bad ships. I want to be able to engage on my terms. Now we got a Wyoming sailing in reverse, so we go ahead, put some shots out, see if anything sticks, and then we start turning in. Now, Wyoming still just giving it up, so we're going to focus fire him. He's backing away. And then there's a... Oh, look! It's a Kuma! Hi, Kuma! Wait for it. Get all the guns loaded. Nope. We fired the first one a little bit early. And then we fire the 2 rears. And are we going to get a hit? These look like they could be potentially juicy. Come on! No! Just a little off, and we managed to miss on all sides of his ship without hitting him. Which is impressive when you think about it. Like, you would think at least one of those rounds would hit the ship, but nope, not quite. But then you go and do something like this next shot where there's an Ischizuchi out there, and I just want to keep him honest, so I'm just going to put some shells in his general direction. And by general direction, I mean hit him with them, because of course I do. I can hit a destroyer who's doing 35, 40 knots at, what, 10 kilometers? But I couldn't hit that cruiser. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. But it's okay. We did manage to at least get his attention. We go ahead and throw some more rounds out there just, again, to keep him honest. I want to make sure that he feels like he's not safe here. Because when destroyers feel safe, they tend to launch these little fish at you. And I don't like little fish being launched at me. I really don't like it. I don't like the fact that destroyers, and I know what you're thinking. And there's been a couple people commented it already. But Spartan, why are you complaining about destroyers? I know. I'm a salty gamer. It's a thing. I like to complain about things that don't go my way. That's just the way it works, unfortunately. I don't get to choose to be a salty gamer. I just am. I can't help it. I'm just good enough to realize that I'm just good enough to be bad. And I don't like that. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, I salute you. But anyway, we've still got this Wyoming sailing broadside to us. So we go ahead, put a round out, just to see if we can get a salvo to hit him. And of course, this is the moment where he decides to put it in forward and start driving forward again. And so what do we get? Nothing. And then he gets torpedoed all to crap. Because torpedoes. Torpedoes are literally... This is the fun thing. Torpedoes are guaranteed citadels, guys. Seriously. If you hit somebody with a torpedo, it's like citadeling them in a battleship. And not just like it. It is. I mean, you're talking about 15,000 damage. That's like high-tier battleship citadels. So, yeah, excuse me a little bit if I'm a little salty that you can launch 8 to 9 citadels every minute from not being detected. It just, I don't know. It seems unbalanced, which is why a lot of the matches at high tiers have over half the teams of destroyers. There seems to be an imbalance, don't you think? You see battleships and you see destroyers. Now, there's a few cruiser players out there, and I give them props, because cruisers, although they can do everything well, also get the short end of the stick, because unlike destroyers, cruisers have citadels. And when it comes down to it, a cruiser versus a battleship is not going to end well very often. Unless you have torpedoes. Or you just hit them with HE from as far away as possible. I mean, you can armor pierce them, especially if they're fighting somebody else and you have broadsides. You can definitely do damage armor piercing against a battleship with a cruiser. But the trade-off just isn't worth it. Getting in an engagement with a battleship and a cruiser is Russian roulette. You're playing with RNG. And anybody who's ever played any World of anything, whether it's World of Ships, World of Tanks, or I've never played World of Warplanes, but I've heard things. But any World of game knows that RNG is never your friend. Doesn't matter what you play. RNG will screw you. So in a cruiser, like the Danae, who is less than 10 kilometers away from a broadside battleship, firing torpedoes at him, which is not a bad play, and would have been very effective had he been in range, is now about to find out exactly why you do not chance RNG. Yep. There goes all your health, sunshine. And if you give me another 12 seconds, I'm going to do it again. Oh, look, it's cute. The Danae only gets armor piercing, guys. I feel his pain. I've played it. I really do. And while it's not a bad ship, it really isn't. It does have a nasty habit of getting citadeled. As we stack up 2 more citadels and finish him off. However, 305mm guns have this nasty habit, especially on the Japanese battleships for some reason so far, of lacking penetration, as we're about to show with this Orion. Broadside shot, well led, maybe a little bit out front on the first salvo, ends up going a little high, but we do not get any like real penetration out of it. The guy to my left managed to get a good penetration on him. Not a citadel, but a good penetration. And so we're adjusting our aim. We're getting ready. This should be a pretty straightforward, easy kill. He's low enough health that if I get a couple penetrations, he's dead. Really? That's what I'm talking about. The lack of penetration out of this gun is frustrating against other battleships. And because it's not like a truly armored battleship that you get against other battleships, you tend to get citadeled pretty disgustingly. So there's a Congo coming out into our cap. I don't want that. So we're getting ready to fire some shells at the Congo. We go ahead, put the rounds out, and notice we forgot to fire one of the guns, but it's a thing. It happens. But while we're loading, we do manage to hit him. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss, even if he does go undetected. I was already aiming ahead of him. I knew where he was going. It's kind of hard to miss at that point. But I leave the Congo to fight my teammate. Now, it's just 2 of us versus 4 of them. It's not good odds. But I don't go down without a fight. I just don't. I can't do it. I don't know how people can sit there and do nothing. Personally, I will go down swinging every single time. As you saw if you watched my World of Tanks video yesterday in Battle Axe. It was a rough game there at the end, but we managed to pull it off. And for every game that I pull off, I fail much more. But there's always the chance as we sink one of them and bring it to a 2 versus 3. And then realize that we just got citadeled to ever-living hell by the New York that's behind the mountain over there that I was broadside to and didn't realize it. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. And you're going to see in a little bit how much that hurt. So you don't realize it just yet, but trust me, when I say that hurt, that hurt. Because watch. Now, we managed to hit him here and take a good chunk off. Very good chunk off of him right there. Now, that New York's behind the tallest part of the mountain. There's no way he can help his team, which means this is a 2v2. As long as the guy over there doesn't get himself killed, we got a chance. I managed to shoot the mountain here, but the front guns made it over, and we do get a hit. And we get a little bit over 1,000 damage for it. Not a lot, but a little bit. And he starts turning towards me. Now, we're about to get into a fight with a battleship, a tier 4 battleship in a tier 3 battleship, or a battle cruiser, as some of you guys have pointed out. But I'm not worried as much as you'd think. Now, I switched to high explosive because I assume he's going to bow tank me. And that's what he should do. So, of course, I get loaded, and the second I get loaded, he starts coming towards me. Now, I fire the shot. It looks like it's going to miss, but one shell manages to hit him, and that shell sets him on fire. But he doesn't take the fire. He puts it out immediately. What does that mean, guys? That means if I can manage to set him on fire one more time, he's going to burn for the rest of the match. And we do set him on fire. Now I switch to armor piercing, I start bow tanking the Congo, and I get focused on the Kuma. The Kuma is broadside on to a battleship that is almost loaded with armor piercing. And that's going to be a bad day. I don't care who you are. So as long as I put these shots on target, that is a paddling. And down he goes. Look at the low health of the Congo, though. He's burning. He knows he's going to burn. He's trying to finish me off. And my secondaries are battering the ever-living crap out of him. And we're about to be loaded. Are we going to be able to finish him off before we die? Come on, Spartan, get loaded. And he dies, and we actually just pulled the trigger like a complete goof. I didn't realize that I was going to kill him with my secondaries. And then I get ready to ram this guy. And unfortunately, his secondaries finished me off. But if we hadn't been citadeled by him earlier in the match, how much better could that have gone? You know what I'm saying? Well, we pulled off 103,000 damage in a tier 3 battleship, getting top of the leaderboard, taking out Akuma, Akuma, an Orion, and a Congo out of the last 4 ships alive. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.